Congratulations, Kitta. It is such a pleasure to have you here with us, and congratulations on being a top 25.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor. I'm so thrilled.
So, Kitta, tell me, I know we've had conversations before, a little bit about your background because it's so diverse and interesting.
Thank you. It is a bit. It's definitely diverse. I started as a reporter at the Star Ledger, and general assignment reporter, covering police and courts and everything. And because I have a bit of a science background, when the science beat opened, I was given that spot. And I made it into a front page beat, basically. I covered, Bell Labs, all the great pharma companies, all the great universities in New Jersey. There are many, many scientists and great researchers. It wasn't difficult to find great stories. I spent days with Nobel Prize winners, as the champagne, was being popped open, and all kinds of great things, all kinds of wonderful discoveries and inventions and personalities. So that was I was very lucky to have that job. It was one of the best jobs in the world. I decided to change things and learn about another area, and so I went to Princeton University in 2008 and became their lead science writer. And then I was promoted and I became the director of communications at the Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory. And now I am teaching at Rutgers University, and I am teaching journalism and public relations because I've seen it from both ends. Mm-hmm. If you want to look for a common theme, what is the thread that goes all through this? It's that I've always loved science and I've always wanted to convey it to people. I feel that people don't understand it, they're afraid of it, and they shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. And I believe that people are smart, and if it's explained properly, they can understand it. So I have started a business where I am going out and doing public speeches about science.
I love it. I think that you're the epitome of a brand builder, especially in a non-traditional subject matter. So I definitely give you so much credit for that. And just listening to all the things that you've just told us that you've experienced, it's just congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
So let's focus on what is it today that you've evolved your brand building career into? Okay,
the idea of brand building to me is having a very specific look to you or sound to you. People know when they see something, it reminds them of you, basically. And the brand to me is this idea of making things clear and concise and communicating that. Nothing fancy, just basically nothing intimidating, because I think that a lot of people are intimidated by jargon. And I've spent so much time writing about things and working with scientists and engineers who are trained to speak in a particular language. And all professions have their languages, right? The law has it, medicine has it, writers have it, public relations, we have all kinds of special words. But when you're speaking to the public and you're trying to communicate things, you need to speak in English, and people forget that. Mm-hmm. And I think that more than ever, science is something that's just part of the daily conversation. We hear the president talking about climate change. We hear about reports coming about changes in genetics and all these very thrilling things that the public needs to be part of. I want to be there. I want to help the public understand these things. I'm writing books about it too, but I want to be out there and speak. I was at Princeton recently. I was invited to speak before a group called the Present Day Club, and we had such a blast. I thought it was going to be 50 people. It was a couple of hundred people, all mainly women, and we were talking about all different kinds of sciences. And they started talking about equilibrium and all these different things. And they said, I always wondered about this, so we had this very broad conversation about science. And I thought, I'm tapping into something that's there. Mm-hmm. That people, I think a lot of people think science, boring, I'm afraid of it. But I don't think that anymore. I think that there's a yearning to understand things, and it's just the time to do it.
Absolutely. And if you can translate it into a version that people can digest it, then the interest will be there. I see you on a TED Talk, and I see this book coming out, so I love it. What's the name of your book?
Well, I've just finished a novel, and it's called Mad Hatters and Glow Girls. And it's about the turn of the century, coming into the 20th century, two factory girls who worked in Orange, New Jersey. And it's about, their families are from, the classic immigration stories, but they're working in factories where there are some dangerous things happening. And what they do is they investigate and they kind of help people. And it's not just about that time, it's also about the idea of work. And we think that we understand science and we think that we're in control of things, but we don't always understand it. That was a time when people were very optimistic about science and they didn't understand about maybe the other side of it. It's not an anti-science book. It's a book that respects science, but it talks about understanding it and making sure you understand it.
I can't wait to read it. Last question. Our event theme this year is being the change. So how do you embrace being the change?
Being the change can mean so many different things. To me, it's not just about talking about science and conveying it to intelligent people. Being a woman and wanting to be a leader and being out there means that I'll be a role model for young women, and that is change inducing, and that's what I'm so excited about with this organization.
Well, I think we definitely need more role models, and especially more role models in the science world. So I really, again, can't tell you how much I appreciate your work, and that I'm honored to have you with us this year. And we can't wait to celebrate you and showcase your success on September 22nd.
Thank you so much, Linda.
You're welcome. I can't wait.